You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Let's discover hardcover month, but it's this enough so you can know what's up in the hood.
Hello, I'm Alejandro.
And I'm Lolito.
And today we will be discussing the heated debate over whether gentrification within Humboldt Park and Logan Square has improved or destroyed the neighborhood.
But you may be asking, what is gentrification? Gentrification is a general term for the arrival of wealthier people in an existing urban district, a related increase in rents and property values, and changes in the district's character and culture. The term is often used negatively, suggesting the displacement of poor communities by rich outsiders.
Gentrification, it has its pros and cons. The gentrification of a neighborhood can raise values of property, increase the outward appeal, reduce crime rates, and attract middle class and affluent people outside of the city into the mentioned neighborhoods.
Some downsides include the stripping of prior culture for residents who have made a home out of the community, long-time residents having to move into new areas due to the rise of rent, and higher pricing for establishments that have been long-time residents of the community.
I'm Bianca Dodson, and I live in the Humboldt Park area. My opinion in the Humboldt Park area is that it's crazy how it changed over the years. Now there are so many new places like condos and things are being built around our neighborhood and changing our neighborhood, and it's affected me because it's raising our rent up, and you know it's hard to see people that I know move out of the neighborhood because of how high their rent is. So I think that this should stop.
I think gentrification is good in doses. The 606 is kind of that point where any more is going to kind of ruin the culture the neighborhood has, if there is any left. But you know, that's the city's agenda.
Some believe that it has vastly improved the community and making it safer and appealing to every Chicagoan.
Luckily, the Bloomingdale Arts Building in which I live, it was city-funded project, and we have a grant to live there. And property tax is set at the rate in which we bought the place at. So, because we can still only sell it at the price we got it at. So I don't have that issue, but I know a lot of people in the neighborhood do. And I know this year the property tax was raised significantly, and a lot of people had to move out this year.
Another community that has suffered the same effects of gentrification is Humboldt Park's neighboring residency of Logan Square. Recently, the Logan Square State Savings Bank on Logan and Milwaukee has been put up for sale. The sales price is between somewhere of $2 to $3 million. This historic building is one sale away from being redeveloped and potentially being turned into condos, furthering the gentrification of the Logan Square area. Next to the California Blue Line train stop, a 12-story building is planned to be built. And even though the building will include some low-cost housing, the majority of the building will consist of one-room studio apartments with $1,500 rent, nearly double the average rent prices in Logan Square as of 2013.
Honestly, I would do what Humboldt Park has done. What Humboldt Park has done is not even that effective, but what Humboldt Park has done, they have a committee that regulates all of these things. They have people who speak on behalf of the people, and people who've lived there for generations, and I think that's honestly what any neighborhood in Chicago should do, because the only effective one I've ever seen to any degree is Humboldt Park's.
But the bottom line is that in Logan Square, rents are rising, the ethnic mix is changing due to the shrinking of affordable housing, and it is a rapidly gentrifying neighborhood. Now back to the studio. Overall, gentrification has its pros and cons. Some believe that it has vastly improved the community, making it safer and appealing to everyday Chicagoans.
On the other side, people believe that they have been kicked out of their homes and the community has been stripped of its prior culture in replace of what new residents consider to be a higher form of living.
Now it is up to the local residents to voice their opinions on gentrification in order to find common ground on the topic. This has been Hardcover News. Thank you for watching.
Hey Lucy, it's Leslie. You got that thing I asked for?
Oh, hey, yeah. Yeah, I got it. Are you guys out right now?
Who are you talking to?
It's Les. Chill.
Oh yeah, something like that. We're by the trail.
Yeah, we're closed. Do you want me? ¿Quieres que te lo pase a dejar ahorita?
Hey, are we still gonna be here for a bit?
Yeah, but we gonna go out later. Is Brian gonna be there?
Yeah, can we meet up with them? So I can have to give Les the
Oh
thing?
yeah, I gotta give Brian that thing too.
Okay, so it's cool if they come by.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, we're on our way.
Alright,
Okay, bye.
bye. Hey, how you been? I think the other day when you were at my house, I think you left your glasses because I found some and obviously they're not mine.
I've been looking for them.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Hey, that's not ghost, bro.
Do you,
That's not ghost.
just so they won't really see it, you should give it to
Oh, dude, what are they doing? I can see what they're doing.
me. I just don't want Brian to know. Yeah.
Wait, dude, did I just hear Leslie say that? I think she's hiding something from me.
So, where are you taking me out later?
I was thinking. Are you serious? Yo, this again? Like,
Oh my god.
stop wasting your money on this.
Estás exagerando.
Stop wasting your money on
Estás
this.
exagerando.
You don't need this.
You're acting like
You don't need this.
You're acting like I'm buying drugs or something. It's just makeup. Just relax.
Stop wasting your money on that.
Oh my god.
Stop wasting
Okay, I know you get mad, but like, it was.
So then why do you do
new
it? You know I get mad.
But because it's a pretty color and makeup is pretty, and I just wanted it. Okay. Okay. Last one. I promise. I won't buy anymore. Just go shower.
You sure you promise?
Yes, te lo prometo.
Alright, you promise, give me a kiss. Okay, I'm gonna go shower, babe.
Hey, are you almost ready?
Babe, can you pick up my pants?
¿Qué crees? ¿Que soy tu esclava?
No, babe, please. I love you.
Brian, ¿qué es esto?
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. The stuff in your pants.
Oh, babe, relax. I can explain.
Pues explícate. Why do you have this?
Let me just...
Hurry up and explain then.
Earlier, Jason and I were talking about... Well, he thought it was time to step up my game.
Oh, so you're cheating on me?
Oh, no, I'm not.
Then?
I told him we've never...
Are you serious?
He's my best friend. Stop being so complicated.
Well, now I don't trust you.
Trust me? You have to. If you want to make this work, there has to be trust.
Babe, I know it's just hard.
Okay, well, relax. Just finish getting ready.
Okay.
if I were to meet myself back in time, it wouldn't be that hard to just think about what I'm gonna tell myself. I'm just gonna be like, there's certain times in life where like you're gonna go through stuff where it's obviously gonna be natural, and everybody's obviously gonna go through this once in their life, and to not really care. I think I would tell myself to not really care what people say, because sometimes people tell me one thing and then I take it too personal when I know they're just meaning it as a joke.
I would tell my younger self that there are a set of negative rights that you have when it comes to masculinity and expressing yourself.
Oh, you're supposed to be fit, you're supposed to have a girlfriend, you're supposed to have a job, have money, you're supposed to have all these things that other men have, like, you're supposed to have a phone, iPhone 7 or whatever.
And those set of negative rights are, you have the right not to be ridiculed for expressing yourself like any other human would. You have the right not to be forced to conform to a manufactured form of what it means to be a man. And third of all, and this is the most important one, you have the right not to have your individuality stripped away.
If I could go back in time with the knowledge that I have and tell my 10-year-old self how to be a man, I think it would kind of be rejecting that notion. And I think I would be telling my 10-year-old self a lot of the things that my earlier role models did at the time, which was just be yourself, and more people are going to enjoy who you are if you enjoy who you are yourself.
Well, men have a certain role to live up to. They are supposed to be portrayed as strong, not show any kind of emotion. If they even show at least one emotion, like sadness or you're starting to cry, then the media, along with everyone else in the world, will just portray you as weak, won't respect you as much. Wake up, because the world is full of people that has their own opinions about what a man is.
Once you ask someone to define it, you realize that it really can't be anything. I mean, I know how it has been described to me, but I know anyone could counter with anything that I say would be defined as a man. So I guess there really is no definition of a man.
Coffee, it's everywhere, in the hands of parents, accountants, McDonald's workers, and CEOs alike. The normally bitter drink has also sparked the interest of many teenagers, with the new sugary blends that are now being normalized by big chains like Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. But does the high amounts of caffeine in these drinks affect the growth of upcoming generations? And what is the real reason teens are seeking out coffee houses at a higher rate than usual? Let's find out. No matter where you go, you'll always find teens drinking coffee. Whether it's in the morning train to class, walking down the street with friends, sitting in a local coffee shop, or at the Starbucks around the corner from your work. But why are teens so interested in drinking coffee? Well, there are a lot of reasons I've been drinking coffee since I first became a teenager. One reason has to do with coffee being seen as a drink for adults. My parents and other adults in my life have also drank coffee. So when I drink it, I feel more mature. Another reason I like drinking coffee as a teenager is because of all the interesting sweet drinks that are out there now. You can get almost any flavor you want in coffee. You can have it hot or iced, and there are even frappuccinos. And all of them still have the caffeine I want to keep me awake. But the number one reason that coffee is important to me is because coffee shops are a great way for me and my friends to hang out. Whenever I want to get together with my friends, we meet at a Starbucks or coffee house in the area and are able to have whatever drink we want, while still being able to sit down together and hang out. But these are just the reasons I like coffee. How about we hear from some other teens?
I started drinking coffee because I liked it.
I started drinking coffee because my mom did.
I started drinking coffee because I kind of saw my mom doing it, so I was like, you know what, let me try it, and it kind of happened.
I started drinking coffee because I would just like to experience to see how the flavor tastes.
I started drinking coffee when it was introduced by my dad, actually.
Well, I started drinking coffee because my mom never really had time to make me a breakfast.
In my case, I don't drink coffee for the simple fact that I was basically raised to believe that coffee isn't really good for your health.
I started drinking coffee as a teenager, and I used to go out with my friends to Dunkin' Donuts and pick up coffee and drink coffee at night.
Some of my friends drink coffee.
Like, I don't think anyone really pressured me. If anything, I probably pressured my mom when I was younger, like, hey, when are you making coffee?
One of my friends, they do drink coffee, and they drink it to get them up in the morning.
People my age, I have yet to see someone my age not drink coffee. Because, like, well, the school I went to and I graduated from, everybody drank coffee.
Other than me, I know a couple people that drink coffee my age frequently, and I think it's probably like I think sometimes it has to do with like a morning routine kind of thing. It's a habit.
Yeah, I would say my really good friend was like addicted to coffee, and it was kind of like her, status or her label of herself being a coffee addict. And she was like very proud of it and like really pushed coffee for sure, and would just constantly be drinking coffee. So I think I didn't really like see anything wrong with that at the time. Looking back on it now, it's like obviously, caffeine is an addictive substance as well. So there is such a thing as having too much of it.
I think that with all the sweet coffee drinks they have now, I think they're naturally desirable for teenagers because they like the sugar rush, and a little caffeine doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, I think it's a taste thing, especially because there's so many different flavors. Some people don't like cappuccinos or espressos, while other people do like that and things like that. So,
kids going to coffee houses isn't new. It's been around for years. And first it was like they had a boombox and all that, and they had a coffee next to them, But now they're on the computers and they have coffee next to them. It's different a little bit. But
I know in some suburbs, the coffee house experience for older adults can be somewhat marred by lots of teens coming in and suddenly taking over the place with their dour faces. But that's okay. They have their world and I have mine. It's okay.
There wasn't really anywhere to go to hang out in town besides Caribou Coffee, so we would go sit in Caribou Coffee.
I think that coffee house culture is fine because it's it's just friends are hanging out where they want to hang out.
Teens now, they just want to be they want to be followers. So because their parents drink coffee or they see someone drink coffee, they'll be like, oh, hey, I want to try that. Because that's kind of what teens are. We're just curious kids wanting to try new things in the world.
Wow, that gave a lot of insight into the different reasons teens today drink coffee. But now let's talk about something more serious. We've all heard the stories of different health risks that come with drinking coffee. Many people will say that young people drinking coffee has a negative impact on their health. But is this really true?
I think that drinking coffee has health risks.
Like, I've seen some really young people drink coffee, and we're talking about like people probably in 6th grade.
I mean, the brains are still developing, and if they drink it at a young age,
Yeah.
it messes with the chemistry.
I had a friend once said she don't like drinking coffee because it wasn't really good for her, and she think that she was too young to be drinking coffee.
One thing I heard was that if you drink a lot of coffee or, you start at a young age, you get addicted.
2 cups is okay. After that, it gets a little addictive.
Oh, you can overdose on caffeine. And I've done it maybe once, maybe twice when I was younger. So I know that there are health risks with too much of any drug.
Probably if you have like a heart condition, the caffeine probably can't help that.
Because when you're teenagers, you don't go out for a beer or anything like that. You go out for a cup of coffee because it's a drug. It is a drug. It's a very mild drug. And it's a drug that stimulates thinking.
In my opinion, I'm still kind of iffy because, like, again, I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't really know the effects that it will have.
Well, even though those theories are commonly heard, there is no basis to any of these claims. The overall consensus from the studies is that there are no real risks that come with young people drinking coffee. In fact, there are benefits that come with having a moderate amount of coffee every day. The list of positive long-term effects goes on and can protect today's teens from issues that they would not even consider taking preventative measures against for years down the line. For example, the threat of getting Alzheimer's disease is not something that's on most teens' minds. But a study from the European Journal of Neurology suggests that if one were to drink a moderate amount of coffee every day, the person would have significantly reduced the likelihood of getting Alzheimer's down the line. Similarly, coffee has also have a positive impact on the possibility of getting diabetes. In an 11-year study of postmenopausal women, it was found that the risk of getting diabetes was reduced by 22% for those who consumed 6 or more cups of coffee a day. The most common misconception about the long-term health risks that go along with drinking coffee comes from our parents.
As I was growing up, I've been told that drinking coffee would make you shorter.
They told me I would get short.
It does stunt your growth a little.
They said it was going to turn out to be short and stuff like that.
Many people hear from adults in their life throughout their teenage years that coffee stunts your growth. But this is just a myth. The only real link between a shorter height and coffee consumption is the impact that coffee's caffeine has on your sleep patterns. If you drink too much coffee too close to your bedtime, your body doesn't have the proper amount of energy to grow to your full potential. But there are not only long-term benefits to having coffee. It can also help teens with issues that are faced in day-to-day life. For active teenagers that are in sports, drinking 2 cups of coffee after exercise can cut the muscle pain by 48%. For health-conscious teenagers concerned about dental care, strong black coffee is an easy way to prevent cavities, killing large amounts of bacteria every time one drinks it. And for teenagers who fear the high rate of depression in young people, multiple studies have shown that by drinking 4 or more cups of coffee every day, the risk of depression goes down by 20%. So, although there are people in everyone's lives that perpetuate the idea that if you drink coffee when you're young, it'll do damage to your health of your body and mind, the fact is that the only effect coffee has on your health is a positive one.
A common health benefit that I have, at least, is that it increases your production because you are more focused on your daily task, especially if it's during the nighttime, where you get really stressed out to the point where you feel the urge to sleep, but coffee suppresses that feeling.
Well, I love coffee because it takes the cobwebs out of my brain and sparkles my thinking and helps me think more clearly.
I mean, they say it's bad for you, but we're gonna die either way.
I guess it depends on the coffee, because like there's different brands and different styles of coffee.
So pertaining to teens drinking coffee, I mean, let them do their thing. If they need something to like help them get through the day or something, I mean, it's their choice if they want to drink coffee. I don't think it's like cigarettes or alcohol.
So if you need a production rush, coffee is the way to go.
There are many more health benefits to drinking coffee than not. And I think that they're very good at improving cognitive functions in human beings. They're very good at keeping the heart healthy. I think that when you're stimulated with caffeine, you tend to exercise more. So there's so many good reasons for drinking coffee. Plus, it's fun.
As a teenager myself, I think that if you want to drink coffee, do it. There will be adults in your life who tell you that it is not good for your health, or that drinking coffee is a fad. But the decision on whether or not to drink coffee is ultimately on you.